Dropbox is one of my favorite video storage solutions because it gets over low speed internet. It doesn't interfere. It's a very tastefully drawn feature in many ways. However, there are two areas that I feel Dropbox kind of severely lets its clients down, which I've just been dealing with my assistant. When it turns out that I upload, let's say, 20 videos with a timestamp and they're in order, and my assistant, who's responsible for publishing those on YouTube, uh, starts putting them in the wrong order. So the first thing to realize is that Dropbox does not retain the order of upload based on the order of actual creation. So in other words, it's guaranteed if you upload a batch of files that Dropbox prioritizing the smallest file first. The odds in 20 files that the smallest file is going to be the first file is, it just doesn't exist. In other words, Dropbox will always get the sequence wrong. And the second thing is that in any Windows file, if I look up something, if I go to a video area and hit about, I can go to properties and I can see this information in a few seconds. So the consequence of moving a video folder from my desktop or an external hard drive to Dropbox is that it's lost. It's about properties information. I don't have the time it was created, or the date it was created, or the date it was last modified. All of that gets lost in the properties folder. And so this is a huge inconvenience because the only way to get around it currently is to title your media product, not only the title so that you can know what it actually is, but to actually write the original date and time in the title, which makes these very long titles. But it also means that you cannot organize, even if you title things based on the time and date. Dropbox will not organize things based on your title. So if you want to create a folder of all media and look at it chronologically, you've just lost because Dropbox has made that impossible. And this is a huge kind of deviation from optimal service in the primary core competency of Dropbox, which is to make storage easier, not harder. Now, the next problem is, of course, that we will forward this to the appropriate department. If you've ever done that 10 or 20 times around intelligent things with any company across the board, this is politically correct speech for go fuck yourselves. You will never hear from us again once, and we will do nothing about this. Now, this again is a letdown relative to a healthy relationship with a client. There should be a place where people post ideas and everyone can vote on it, i.e., is there anyone out there who doesn't want to know when their file was created? How many people think it's worth 10% of Dropbox's value? How many think that after uploading 1,000 files that they had to rename every single one? So currently Dropbox is making this very easy. It says, okay, we're going to erase your information, and then all you have to do before, see, this is what you have to do, before you upload your file, you just look in your properties Then, because you can't copy and paste the properties easily, then all you have to do is handwrite or take a screenshot of that file's properties. Take note of it, store it somewhere. Then send the file to Dropbox. Then rename the file in Dropbox based on the, and include that date. So now we've got a minute into every file. So we've got 1,000 minutes. Is your time, is $10 worth 1,000 minutes? So, Dropbox would be significantly more valuable if it allowed data that was already associated with the file to be retained. And so vote to Dropbox. Send your requests. I'll be looking for a storage company that doesn't send ideas off into a black hole. I want a reasonable response. I'd like to know, will this be sorted out in the next 2 weeks? With a billion-dollar company, you should be able to write a bit of code to capture the date, if you get onto it, or not, in which case we need to find another storage company.